All right, everybody. Welcome to the victory party. This is Soto with RJ here, the Autumn Windbags live post-game show. The Raiders shocked the betting world by beating the favored Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field. No one said we could. Well, we said we can do it. Not many people said we can do it, but we went in there, and I think the big story of the day is Carr continuing to ball out and push the ball down the field, regardless of down, regardless of distance. The defenses can't key in on short passes anymore with Carr. He's going deep, and he's trusting his receivers.
First off, hello from Costa Rica. I'm here at a bachelor party, so that's why I sound a little different, and I'm on a phone. So I'll just make it short and sweet before I get back to the booze in the pool. Derek Carr absolutely playing fantastic, like he's been playing for the last 2 seasons. But now the defense isn't giving up 40 points a game, and so these wins, he can pull them off. And he's doing it with a patchwork O-line and no run game. Absolutely fantastic performance from Derek Carr. That pass rush that the Raiders have is real, and it's affecting all other levels of the defense, right? With the pass rushes there, gives the linebackers time. It gives the DBs plenty of time. Shortens the amount of time DBs have to cover. It's all working up exactly as Gus Bradley wants it to. Guys are swarm tackling. And, of course, special teams has been lights out like always. So
Carlson, man.
Yeah, something special with Carlson.
If you can split the game ball in half and give half the ball to Derek Carr, give the other half to Daniel Carlson.
Yeah.
He kicks some deep field goals, and ice water, man. He was clutch all game. Big thing with Carr. 8 different receivers. He threw the ball 8 different receivers today.
Yep.
Listen to the final stat line. Henry Ruggs, 5 for 113 and a touchdown. Waller, 5 for 65. Renfro, 5 for 57. You catching a little theme here?
Mm-hmm.
Drake, 5 for 46. Edwards, 3 for 40. Moreau, 2 for 34 and a touch. Snead had one on a big third down conversion.
Mm-hmm.
Carrier had a couple of catches. Spreading the ball around. When it's working, you feed your horse, right? You feed your bell cow. That's when it's working. When it's not, you're going to have stat lines. When you have against good defenses that know how to really bottle up Waller, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get the ball spread around. You're going to get a lot of catches to a lot of different guys.
Are terrible towels great for wiping away tears? Is that a good material? Like, is it a nice soft cotton that very water absorbent? I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah,
because they were talking a lot of shit.
This felt great. This is a great win, like you mentioned. Darren Waller, we threw the ball to him 19 times last game, and this time we spread the wealth. All right, we're gonna throw it to Waller until you prove you can stop it, and then once you stop it, we'll go to all these other weapons that we have. Beautiful. That's how it should be. That's how it's gonna be. And if this run game can't get going, Derek Carr is going to have MVP caliber numbers.
Yeah.
If he has to throw it 50 times a game and throw for 380, 440 consistently, he's going to have NFL MVP type numbers. And if this defense if the defense holds up, there's going to be some chanting about that. There's going to be some whispers about that with the way he's playing.
Yeah, and it's the main thing we have to focus on here is we were aggressive but patient on both sides of the ball. We weren't wild. We weren't reckless with the ball. And I think the big difference in this game was we stayed patient on both sides of the ball, whereas the Steelers stayed patient for the most part. But on that big throw to Ruggs, Fitzpatrick did not stay patient. He didn't stay deep enough like he was supposed to. He cheated up on Waller, and Ruggs got behind him, and that's a wrap. When Ruggs gets a step on you, it's over.
That's supposed to be exactly on paper. Ruggs and Waller should be super complementary of each other, right? He's the deep threat that keeps safeties honest and backing up and makes space for Waller. And Waller's the guy running unders and overs and fantastically, which should force safeties to play up and cover our best player, right? On paper, this is exactly how this tandem should work, right? Exactly that way. Ruggs hasn't been keeping up his end of the deal. That 160-yard bomb obviously is exactly what that tandem is capable of.
Yeah, but Ruggs had 5 catches today. He moved the ball. He got a couple of first downs.
Mm-hmm.
He made a nice little move He shook the corner, man. Nice little move for a big gain. And the more he shows that, the more we get him the ball, especially on the short to intermediate passes, the more he gets the ball. These defenses are going to sag off him to make sure, hey, I can't be super aggressive with him, because if he shakes me a little bit, he can make a big play and make us hurt.
So how shocked are you that I'm coherent right now? I've been on a bachelor party in Costa Rica for like 4 days.
You look like shit. First off.
Look at this.
I don't know. I mean, I saw the pictures. Dude, that's fucking amazing. I don't know what
gorgeous out here
you robbed to fucking go to that place.
Dude, definitely like narcos have stayed here. Like, this place has definitely been like run down by the CIA at one point. Great place to watch a Raider game and a Raider victory. Yeah, this is like two playoff teams now with the Ravens and Steelers. On paper, this Steelers game was one of the toughest ones because short week, cross-country trip. Steelers started out super hot last season. They were likely to start super hot again this season. Big Ben's still healthy, right? He always gets hurt like later in seasons. On paper, this is one of the toughest games. And honestly, like a lot of hurting ourselves in this game, right? Like, as great as Derek Carr was, our pass rush was there. We could have been even better, right? Like 4 field goals that should have, 2 of those at least should have been touchdowns. It's nice to get the wins and know exactly what we're doing wrong and to improve. Mm-hmm. Like that's a nice like problem to have, is we can still learn and adapt while still getting W's.
Yeah, when you can pinpoint issues that would make a huge difference in this game, without those two, we got 34 points on the board. Mm-hmm. We double up on it, 34-17 without those. But there's a lot of things that needs to get cleaned up. But it's not like it's a whole position group. Like last year, the secondary sucks. Oh my God, there's the whole secondary. It's Arnett again. Okay, look, first off, if you get beat, you get beat. Chase Claypool is a solid player. He's a very good player in this league. He's a big target. He's a tough cover. He catches the ball on you, that's fine. But don't just like sulk and whine and kind of jog off like, oh, he got it. Yeah. Fucking touch the man down.
That
what
pissed
the
me off.
Fuck? That's
when your pity party is more important than the tackle.
Dude, it's like the equivalent of not running out a fucking ground ball in baseball.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like run the fucking ball out. Okay, they put Haywood right back in after that. You're like, dude, get the fuck on the bench. What the fuck is wrong with you? It was bad. It was bad. He made a nice play earlier in the game on a deep ball. So it just showed he does have the talent, but goddamn, man, that's
he's still Damon Arnett. He's still Damon Arnett. Like, there's gonna be hopefully we can get the best version of Damon Arnett, right? Like Gus Bradley and other coaches, like, okay, like he is who he is. Like Jonathan Abram, right? Abram is still Abram. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll over pursue every now and then. He'll be a little aggressive over now and then, but now he's like a tempered version of him, right? Instead of like in the red all the time, it's like, Jonathan Abram, be you, but just be you in 4th gear, right? Don't be you redlining it. Damon Arnett's gonna show flashes. He's gonna make plays here and there, but he's still gonna be Damon Arnett, and hopefully he can be less Damon Arnett-y when we need him to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was really the only spot on defense, other than this next one here. Look, Corey Littleton, he is a straight up liability against the run.
Yeah,
they had 2 long runs, and Littleton did poor angles on both. The first one was to Harris on a big 3rd down. 3rd and long was like 3rd and 7, I think, and Harris went and got like maybe 16 yards. And the second was on that Juju inside handoff. He had him. He was in the hole, and it was just him and Juju, and he whiffed on the tackle. Juju's a big guy, but he's not bigger than Littleton to be just running through his tackle like that.
Yeah,
it's just poor pursuit on run defense. So those are things we need to clean up. And honestly, that was it. Solomon Thomas with a solid game, 2 sacks, pushing the ball. Him and Quentin Jefferson, man, and Hankins. When they rotate them in, those guys are always around on the quarterback. Those are all there's stuff in the run. Really good job by the defensive tackle today.
Last week the rush came from the edges. This week it came from the middle. Like, that's we'll take it either way, right? I'll take it either way. How far up into your gut did your balls retreat to when you saw it when Derek Carr went down?
I didn't breathe until he got up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't breathe until I saw the injury. I'm like, okay, he got rolled up on. It didn't look that bad. They can tape it up and he can still play.
It looked like bad at first, like when he was like the entire training staff was there. Half
until
the
I actually
was there.
saw it. Yeah, until I actually saw what happened. Okay.
And then he stood up and kind of like trotted off on his own. I was like, okay, this should be all right. Taped up. He was throwing the balls. Like, oh, thank God. I mean, what a dirty play! Like that defensive end rolling on his ankle after the ball was already thrown.
That was bullshit.
If that would have been Tom Brady, that end would have been executed on sight. But because it was Derek Carr, not even a flag. I tweeted something like that. Like, yeah, Derek Carr. And then what? Like the next possession, we got a roughing the passer call when it was
so
like
stupid.
Max or someone just like gently shoved Roethlisberger. It's like, dude, I was watching the game with a buddy of mine who doesn't watch football, and he's like, do refs like do they have biases and like call teams different? Like, you tell me. Like, this is a guy who's never watched any football, barely watches any sports, and even he's watching this game. It's like, I feel like the refs give the other team not this and the like. Yeah, this isn't a bias. This is literally like a newborn baby learning something, and even he saw that there's like that there's a bias. Doesn't know football, doesn't know Raiders. He knew.
Guys, listen to this, guys. All you windbags out there. Pittsburgh, 14 carries for 39 yards.
Yes.
That's good.
Beautiful. That was probably my biggest concern this season was the run defense. Like, that was a major concern for me. And it worked. Like, I don't know how much of that, because the Raiders' O-line's not great, or the Steelers' O-line's not great. So we'll see how long this can stay up. But I mean, we beat the Ravens, who have arguably the best running game in football. Held the Steelers to under 40 or whatever it was that you just said. Mm-hmm. And Dolphins next week, Tua went down. I don't know. I haven't been watching to see if he came back up.
Hey, man, Brissett looked a whole lot better than Tua did. When Brissett came in the game, he looked a whole lot better. Remember last year, Tua, we were fine with Tua. It's Fitzy came in and fucked us over. So
Fitzmagic was a problem.
Yeah, it's gonna be either way. It's gonna be a tough game. They're a well-coached team, but I don't think they're as explosive as. And I called it last year. To me, they seem to be that team that overachieved one year, that everything fell into place because they had a lot of patchwork guys that had their career year last year. They had a lot of, especially on the defensive end. Not Howard and those guys, but like a lot of some linebackers, stuff like that. They had the guys that were like playing off their ass. But as far as this win today, it's a big win. It shows that last week was no fluke, that it wasn't just hype, it wasn't just the crowd. This is a team that understands what it takes to win and understands that mistakes, although not optimal, they can happen and they can be overcome.
Yeah, and it's taking advantage of circumstances, right? Like, it was a no excuse type game. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, all right, if TJ Watt didn't go out in like the first quarter, like he already had second quarter, like he already had a strip sack, was already playing great. Like, he didn't go out, we still have won. It's like, dude, like, we have no guards left. Like, we keep like our quarterback's on one leg. We have no run game. We're not.
Our guard has a British accent. He has a British accent, bro. Fucking really? God damn.
We have our own problems, right? Like, and it's only gonna look as the season goes on. People are only gonna get hurt, right? Tom Cable deserves like a statue in Las Vegas for being able to make this line perform. Like, run game's still an issue, but like the protection was pretty good against a phenomenal front from the Steelers. Like, Tom Cable's doing good. Like, I want to send strippers to his house every Sunday, like, as a thank you.
I mean, I'll strip for him. I don't give a fuck. He's doing that good. Another thing from the game, Leatherwood again, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to key in on this too long because I want it to be a positive thing, a happy day. Because Parker came in and did pretty well. He'd get abused once, but honestly, man, more penalties in the red zone. He's still leaning forward quite a bit in pass protection. I saw it in college, and I saw it again last week. It's like one thing that Carl, I noticed it when I watched his tape, and Carl's like, oh, he's real smooth and this and that. And I looked at some tape again, and I saw that same thing in college, but he was just so much stronger than a lot of the people he played against in college. Even though they were good players, they weren't TJ Watt, right? They weren't Melvin Ingram. They weren't Calais Campbell and then shit like that. So he leans forward, and they can grab him and yank him and just pull him out. And then he got that holding call that against Ingram that called back that Edwards touchdown. That was huge at the time. It was a close game at the time.
Yeah, he's going to be a work in progress, and it's definitely not something that's going to get fixed in one off season. It's just a matter of and to me, we can nitpick, and there's plenty to nitpick individual lineman performances, but it's just the mesh. You know what I mean? It's them meshing together that's going to be the key to getting this run game off the ground. And it's just obviously you can't mesh when it's different players every quarter because someone's getting hurt, right? So it's going to be, again, hats off to Tom Cable for being able to do that. And everyone's going to say oh, they couldn't run the game because Josh Jacobs was out. Josh couldn't run last week, right? It's a line issue. It is a run blocking, maybe schematic issue. Again, John Gruden's play calling can be a little predictable. That's part of the issues with the run game, but the biggest issue is obviously just line continuity and getting him to mesh.
Yeah. Hey, Garmelko, yo, RJ, what's that? Your Sirius radio show? I want to hear your buddy Jimmy call in.
All right. So for those who listened to the show last week, I had Jimmy Smith. He's a WWE commentator. We're colleagues at SiriusXM. We're on the same channel. We used to host a show together, and he's a giant Steelers fan, so we had him on. And the bet was whoever won, or if the Steelers won, I had to start my MMA show and end my MMA show with the Steelers song. And if the Raiders won, I get to write a 100-word essay that Jimmy has to recite on his show. So don't you worry, Windbags. I will have the producer of that show send me the audio, and we will play it on Wednesday's regular podcast. So don't you worry. But if you want to listen live, the show's called MMA Today, and it's on SiriusXM Fight Nation on Tuesday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to hear it in real time.
How long is the Autumn Wind poem? Is that 100 words?
Oh, no. This is going to be an original work.
Ooh, right? An original piece.
It's going to be an original piece, and I'm very
all right.
I'm going to let inspiration sink in a little bit. I'm going to get some more tequila in me. It's almost 3 and I'm still sober. This is really embarrassing for me here on vacation. But
where's your beer? What the fuck?
I wanted to watch the game sober. I get so anxious at these Raider games that I get blackout wasted by the fourth quarter. It's our last day here, so I try to keep it tight for as long as I can.
When we used to go to Killarney's, I was fucking blacked out by the middle of the third quarter. Because I was just drinking the beer,
nervous,
watching, and just nervous drinking. When they played the Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs that year. It was, I think, 2016 to clinch playoff berth. I was like, holy shit, man, that's fucking crazy. I'm drinking, and next thing I know, I fucking wake up the next morning. I'm like, what happened?
How conflicted are you now? How are you going to find a way to hate on Carr on the next show? What kind of mental gymnastics are you going to go through to trash him?
I'm not going to, because the thing that I wanted him to do, he's been doing, which is push the ball deep. That's my main issue.
How about Carr? Him moving in the pocket so well? He's not going to run and get you a first down, but just kind of moving around in the pocket, buying time. He's crushing it in that realm these days.
Yeah, and the thing is when you push when the secondary has to cover, respect your deep ball a little bit more, not just on Ruggs, but everybody else. That pulls the linebackers back out too, because they have to respect the mid game a little bit more, because you're not dinking and dunking anymore.
Yeah,
so that gives you a little bit more room to run. Whereas you would meet a linebacker 3 yards down the field, you're meeting them 6, 7, 8 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Levitt with the huge hit on Claypool, man. That was a huge hit. That was a big time hit at a big time of the game.
Third down.
They hope he gets healthy, man, because that looked nasty. The way his neck bent like that was rough.
Good makeup hit too, because he gave up that big play, not the drive prior, but early, drive or two prior, and then came back with that big hit. That was the best of the game. That was so clean.
That was strong.
His his head was a little bit too involved. If he could have gotten more shoulder, obviously it's a split second when their guys are moving that fast. But that was That was the cleanest. That's going to make the highlight rounds for like the week up, like all the highlight reels. Like that's going to be a hit that people are going to pay attention to. That was sweet.
For sure, man. That's the thing that we are seeing now out of our defense. Whereas both last year or years prior, a guy would make a mistake and they would be pretty much done for the game. They would mentally checked out. They would be down on themselves, and because they gave a big plan, they know they're going to be down or whatever. But Gus Bradley's more positive approach. It's like, all right, we're still in this game. You still have more plays to be made, and they're staying with it, man. So great job by our secondary. Great job by our defense. Just like I said during the Wednesday show, Big Ben's going to throw the ball deep regardless. Even if he lets that ball, he doesn't sit in the pocket and wait. That's not the Big Ben of old. He doesn't do that anymore. He'll throw the ball early and he'll just throw it up for jumps. And you know what? The receivers get paid too, man. They made some good plays, but overall, we kept our composure. And normally 50-50 balls really aren't 50-50 balls because the defender doesn't have to catch it. They just have to stop you from catching it. So here's your boy Fang over here talking shit.
Say how you really feel, Soto. It says, "How did DC play today for you, Soto? How did
he
you?"
Played well. He played amazing. Great job.
God. You're so pissed you have to say that.
No. The thing that I said about Derek Carr that he needed to work on was pushing the ball further down the field and being more of a threat deep, and that'll open up the offense, and it has. Yeah. So that's what he's doing, and that's amazing.
What's it like doing a post-game show when your team loses? I have no idea. That's got to be weird. That's got to be really shitty to do a live post-game show like we're doing after a loss. Because all the Raiders do is win once we started doing these live post-game shows. It's a nice feeling.
Lee, I'll tell you what, Lee, if we can split that ball in thirds, I would give Tom Cable the third half of that, the third part of that. Carr gets one, Carlson gets one, and Cable gets the other. All the 3 C's.
Next week, Miami. This is the type of all right, we remember last season, right? We started so hot. We beat the tough teams early and fell apart late. Now it's momentum, still keeping your act together, still approaching it like everyone's second guessing you because the hype, when the Raiders start getting hot, the hype gets bigger than a lot of teams. Right? When the Raiders are
people are like, oh, here they come.
Here they come, right? And everyone says the same old tired line, the league's better when the Raiders are winning, blah, 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 blah. But right when people start paying attention to the Raiders and getting on board is when the Raiders start to like the smell of their own farts a little bit and start to slow down. This is hopefully the last 2 seasons. They learn you still got to have that edge. You still got to play like you're the underdog. You still got to prep like it's the biggest game of your life every single week. Let us be cocky, right? Let the fans, let the windbags do the shit talking. Let us start making Super Bowl plans. Let us be that. Don't you do that. Don't do that. You do you. We do us.
Yeah, the thing defensively is especially because I don't know that we had any type of drop off offensively the second half of the year. It was more defensively, and I think the respect that the team has for Gus Bradley, because they are playing so well.
They bought in.
Yeah, they're buying in. They don't agree. They're not going to comply. They bought in. They are all the way in on this. And the first 2 games that we won last year, we were like, oh, wow. They won those games. They were really tough games. But it's you still saw some numbers that were wow, that was kind of tough. We maybe shouldn't have won that game, but we still did, which is great. These games, no, they played well enough, and they won those games by outplaying the other team. So this gives me more confidence that we're going to be able to move forward and keep this momentum rolling. Because honestly, what do we have going on next? We got Miami. And after that, let me see the schedule real quick.
Chargers. I'll do this off the top of my head. Chargers and then Bears, right?
Herbert threw another pick today.
Loser.
Remember we talked about this. Those second years of those young quarterbacks, that second year, and it's a second year with a new offensive coordinator
and head coach. Yeah,
and head coach. Everything's different. But yeah, he's still a phenomenal player. But yeah, he threw another pick today. So we got Miami next week. We're at Chargers. Then we got the Bears at Denver, Philly, New York. I mean, nothing too incredibly scary here.
Honestly, like the hardest part of our schedule kind of was the first 2 games. Like that was like, again, the Dolphins are still dangerous. Chargers are still not sure exactly who they are, but like to start out,
all of our division games are tough, man. All of our division games are
obviously
tough.
like, right. We still got the Chiefs obviously twice, but like to start out this two, like a lot of teams are going to be 2-0. This 2-0, pretty damn special. The thriller on Monday night and then beating the Steelers by 9. The Steelers are 5.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Is that bonkers?
I made some money today.
It's so ironic that Las Vegas hates the Raiders. Like the city that the team's in, like the odds makers that live in Vegas never give the Raiders any love. Great. We'll keep being underdogs. I'm still sober and this is bullshit. I'm out of here. Raiders!
Later, JR. All right. So listen here, guys. The main thing I want to focus on right now is the fact that our defense is playing amazing. Our defense is playing good. We had more pressures. Max Crosby, although he didn't have the stats, he was always in the backfield. He was making big plays on running downs. So that's one thing that we wanted to look at. We wanted to see from Crosby to make him a more well-rounded player is to play the run much better. And he's doing much better playing the run, especially chasing down runs from the backside. So excellent job there. Leatherwood out with an oblique muscle injury. Those oblique muscles can be tricky. I don't know if anyone has injured an oblique muscle. They're not fun to have, and they really restrict your movement. Parker came in and did a solid. You know, he did okay. He did get beat once pretty badly by Ingram, but Carr had let the ball go a little early. But still, we don't want to give up hits on Carr because he's pretty much our entire offense right now, making this whole offense run. The word I want to use for Carr is moxie. He had a lot of moxie today because he got hit a lot, especially early, and he was still pushing the ball deep down the field. And it was 3rd and short, 2nd and short. It wasn't in the typical, in the typical Gruden offense. Okay, you're going to run on 1st down, you're going to run on 2nd down, you're going to throw on 3rd down. That's how he's played, but he's a little bit more open now. I think Gruden trusts his receivers, especially the young guys, a little bit more. And I want to make sure that we kind of keep an eye on that moving forward. How is he doing? How is Gruden doing play calling? And also, is Carr checking out of plays into those longer deep plays? I said it before, and I'll keep saying it. This is not your true West Coast offense. There's a lot of deep shots built in to this offense, and the difference between this year and previous years is Carr is actually looking to throw the ball deeper, not looking there after his underneath guys. He's looking deep first, and then he's coming back, which with the way Carr can throw the ball, it's going to be dangerous for defenses moving forward if Carr continues with his confidence. And I think it's more a confidence thing than anything. Let's see here. Honestly, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, Carlson did a great job. Carr did a great job. The O-line, the entire defense, a couple of hiccups here and there. Arnett and Littleton got to clean that up. Leatherwood hopefully is okay. Levitt, I hope he's okay. I want to make sure that we keep this all on a high note. We keep happy. We're 2-0, guys. We're 2-0. And then the remaining schedule for the next until the bye week isn't crazy. We have Miami at home. We have at the Chargers, which is pretty much going to be a home game. We have Chicago at home. We go to Denver, but then we have Philly at home. So these next 5 weeks or so don't look too bad. We don't want to look ahead, of course, but going through this next 5 games before our bye week, it looks pretty good for us. So let's hope we can use that time to get healthy into the back stretch of the season. But for right now, we're looking good. Defense is playing great. The run game, hopefully, as Josh Jacobs hopefully gets a little bit healthier, as the line starts to gel a little bit more, we'll have some more continuity. We haven't seen Cognito this year. We haven't seen our offensive line as a unit the way we wanted it to line up. But for right now, everything's looking good. We're making good decisions. We're playing under control. We're playing fast, and we're looking good. All right, guys, don't forget to tune in Wednesday evening for our midweek show. We're going to preview the game against the Dolphins and talk a little bit more about this awesome win against the Steelers. So, to all you bad guys and batter girls out there, Autumn Windbag signing off. This is your boy Soto. Big victory today by the Raiders, going into Heinz Field and taking care of business. So thanks a lot, guys, for your support. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.